Hi Primary 2, here's your maths work for Thursday the 28th of January. We're still learning about patterns, but we're learning about patterns in numbers today. Now we've seen patterns in numbers before because we know how to skip count. And when we skip count, we're adding a certain number each time, which makes a pattern. So if you look at this one of counting in twos, the pattern goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and that's making a pattern. And the pattern is that every time you're adding 2, and 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. When we skip count in fives, we're adding 5 more each time. 5, and then 5 more is 10, 5 more is 15, 5 more is 20, and that's a pattern where we add 5 each time. Then when we count in tens, we're making a pattern where we add 10 every time. 10, and then 10 more is 20, 10 more is 30, 10 more is 40. I see also a very nice pattern there because I see that when we count in 10, all of the numbers end in a 0. And that's another way that we see patterns in numbers. Now, you've seen patterns in numbers before because when we have our pneumicons, they all have different shapes, and every second shape has a bit that comes out at the top. It's an odd number, so we've got 1 coming out the top. I'm going to show you a pattern in some of these numbers. I'm going to show you 2, then 4, then 6, 8, and 10. Now maybe you're thinking, well, there's patterns on the ladybirds, and that is absolutely true. You're right that that's a pattern on the ladybird's back. But what I'm really looking for you to tell me is what pattern am I showing you by choosing these numbers. So I chose 2, then next is 4, then 6, then 8, and then 10. What pattern have I shown you? What thing happens every time? You can pause the video here if you want to think a little bit about the pattern. 2, then 2 more is 4, and 2 more is 6, 2 more is 8, 2 more is 10. What do you think the pattern is? The pattern is that I'm adding 2. Absolutely. So the rule is that I add 2. The pattern is that I've added 2. And if you said I was skip counting in twos, that's correct as well. That's exactly what I was doing. Now, we've got a 100 square here. Can you see some patterns in the numbers of the 100 squares? Pause and have a little look at it and see where you could see some patterns. I see patterns, like I said before, that in this column that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, it always ends in a 0. And that's a pattern to always end in 0. I see a pattern on this one that they all end in 1s. 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, all the way to 91. Maybe you can see some diagonal patterns. If you think you see some patterns, share with your adult what you think, or if there's someone there like a big brother or sister can help you. I noticed that here when you go diagonally across the 100 square, it goes 1, and then the last number in 12 is 2, then last number in 23 is 3, then you've got 4, then you've got 5, then 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10. There's patterns everywhere in a 100 square. Now here there's a pattern where we've coloured in every few squares. What is the pattern that's been coloured in? How many do you jump each time to find the pattern? What's the pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks to me like every time that we add 4. So 45 is here. 46, 47, 48, 49. 1, 2, 3, 4. 50, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. What one would be coloured in next if we were colouring in the next one? 1, 2, 3. I think we would colour in 57 next. And we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would colour in 51. Well, that would make 61, sorry. Well, that would make sense if we coloured in 61 because 41 is coloured and 21 is coloured and 1 is coloured. Let's see what the answers are. Or if you want to do a little more of this and work out how many you'll colour all the way to 100, just pause. But I'm going to show the answer now. So we were adding 4 every time. So it was going 4, 1 till 5, adding 4, all the way up to 97. So you can see the pattern all the way down here. And maybe you see some patterns other places as well. Okay, let's do another one like that. This one, how many are we counting each time on this one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, you can pause at any time if you want to do this on your own. I think it's going up 6 each time. So let's go 49 and count 6 more. Are you ready to count 6 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go up to 55. Does that look like it would make a good pattern? Then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 61. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go up to 67. Now if you want to go all the way up to 100, pause just now. I'm going to show the answers. We were going up in 6s. We were adding 6 every time. That was our rule and that was our pattern. Jumping all the way up. We again went all the way up to 97. That's so cool. Now let's see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to start putting these counters on different numbers and you have to work out my pattern. I've put a counter on 2, 4, on 6, on 8. There's a counter on 10. What will I do next, do you think? Counter on 12. Counter on 14. What pattern am I working on? 2, 2, 2. Yeah, the pattern is that I'm counting up in 2s. I'm adding 2 every time. I'm covering every second number, and that's the pattern I was making on the 100 square. Let's see the next one. Maybe I'll do something trickier. No, this is the same video from before. Is this the one I want? Yeah, that's it. What am I counting up in when I'm putting these counters down? What's my pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going up in 7s, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What will be next? Can you work out what one I would put it onto next? Did you say 35? Because that's right. Now here's your choices for things you can do now. You could do a mild option to try making patterns of 2s. Socks are really useful for making patterns of 2 because hopefully you have 2 socks to every pair, unless you lose your socks. So you could show us all the patterns of 2 with 2 socks, then 2 more socks, 2 more socks, 2 more socks, 2 more socks. Then your spicy pattern, you could make patterns of 5. Maybe you could get your hand on a piece of paper, you could draw around your hands and see how high up you can get counting in patterns of 5. 5, then 10, then 15, then 20. Then if you could make or draw out 100 square, if you don't have one at home, that would be fun. You might need a ruler and a pencil. You'll need to make 100 boxes, and you could make your own 100 square, and then you could put something on top of all of the numbers to make a pattern like I was just doing in the other videos. So choose what one is right for you. If you want a challenge, go for the hot. If you feel like spicy or mild is a good right thing for you, then you do that. Then I'm going to put a link in the bio to a Numberjacks video if you'd like to watch that. It's about patterns. And this is a very fun, interactive 100 square. If you also don't fancy drawing one out, you could work on your 100 square on that. So primarily to enjoy your tasks, go and work on something, and then send us your pictures later.